described. How can you ask people during the registration process to go to GISOs, who are direct workers of General Museveni, who are just there to implement and find out how Museveni can keep himself illegally in power? So we condemn that. But the other thing that they have done, which is very, very unfortunate, is that they have apparently, in the released demarcation report from the Electoral Commission, we have seen a trend where they are deliberately targeting places where they know it is very difficult for them to read, where they know that the opposition against Museveni has a lot of strength. They have reduced the number of elective seats substantially, while in the areas where they presume that Museveni can easily rig elections, they have left all the leaders there. We condemn that in the strongest terms possible. For example, and as NUP, we have been advocating for a lean government, lean and effective. But we do not believe in discrimination. And if you see Kampala, for example, it has the biggest population density. So how do you go and reduce the number of leaders in Kampala and not affect those other areas where they believe that General Museveni can easily rig elections and all that? And I'll just give a sample. In Kampala here, in the 2021 elections, we had 467 leaders at the level of councillor, those local government positions. They have reduced them to 268. It means that they have removed 199 positions. In Masaka City, 89, 76. In Mbarara, for example, where they had 87, they have just removed 13 to leave them as 74. In Wakiso, they have removed 305 positions. 305 positions. There were 1,015, now there are only 710. Now, in other places, like I said, where they believe they can easily rig, you see that they have either not reduced or just reduced by very, very few. So we condemn that and we shall oppose it using all means necessary. Isonga yo nayo kanjogereko mu Luganda nti bano abantu okumanya nti bali deliberate batandise emivuyo gye baze bakola mu kulonda bageze mu maaso n'okukendeeza ebifo ebirondebwa mu bitundu we bamanyi nti Museveni abantu nsonga eyo waliwo n'ensonga endala gye tubadde twogerako ebbanga ddene. Kooti, the High Court, musango ogwawaabwa Kalali Stephen nga wabira Electoral Commission ogwo musango omulamuzi yagusala ng'ennaku 17 eza June 2020. Kooti yavaayo n'egamba nti abantu baffe abawangalira mu diaspora bakkirizibwe okulonda. Kooti n'egamba nti abantu baffe abali mu makomera nga bwe mmanyi amakomera ga Uganda nze naawe tusobola okulyesangamu nga tebunaziba basobola okujja ne batukwata wano ne batutwala mu makomera. Kati kooti yavaayo n'egamba nti buli muntu yenna ayina obuyinza okukola ki okulonda kwetaba mu kulonda. Last time mu bya 2020 ne bavaayo ne bagamba nti baali tebasobola ku implementing eyo decision kubanga obudde bwali bugenze. Kaakati babadde n'emyaka 5 miramba okutegeka ekintu ekyo, naye n'akalulu kano ke tugendamu bagambye nti abantu baffe mu diaspora n'abasibe tebagenda kulonda. Kubanga bakimanyi bulungi nti abantu baffe abali mu diaspora 99.9% tebasobola kulonda Museveni. Abantu baffe abali mu makomera naddala bwe basibira bwereere tebasobola kulonda. Gavumenti yakola ki? Yabasibira bwereere. Tetugamba nti teri bantu abasaana okusibibwa. Naye abantu baffe abasinga mu makomera ge Uganda bakusanga wali ne bagamba gwe otulabikire bubi genda mu komera. Ne bakuteekako ekisangosango kyonna kyonna kye baagala. Bakusanga olina bereeti n'ebirala bwe bityo. So ekyo nakyo tukikondemminga. We condemn that and we demand that the Electoral Commission implements the decision in Kalali Stephen versus the Electoral Commission, where court clearly said that the people in the diaspora and prisoners also are citizens and have a right to vote. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we had a very important meeting, the National Executive Committee of the party. As you all know, we've been having some vacant positions in this party, the National Unity Platform, and the President, using his powers under the Constitution of the party, has appointed some people in those positions. And this morning, the National Executive Committee approved those people who are going to be introduced to you today. And may I now invite you, Mr. President, to come and receive these, your people who you have appointed, and receive them publicly. And then after that, they will say something to us. As we go into the election, you will see that these are very important positions that we are filling because of the importance that they have. But maybe apart from those people, as you all know, we had a vacancy at the National Consultative Forum, which we had a deputy president who also doubled as a vice chairperson of the National Consultative Forum. So the National Executive Committee has approved our National Treasurer, Comrade Katana Benjamin, to serve in that role. You can stand up and wave to these people to represent the National Unity Platform at the National Consultative Forum, which body brings together all political parties in the country. That is different from IPOD. We are not part of IPOD, we are not members of IPOD. But the National Consultative Forum is created by law for all political parties, not only those which are in Parliament. And our deputy president then was the vice chairperson, and our comrade will be there. So, Mr. President, now let me introduce to you the other leaders. Our deputy secretary for youth for Western Region has been Comrade Aguda Moses, but he recently got a full-time job. Although we still work with him, he became incapacitated for him to continue doing this role, and he is being replaced by Comrade Bwambali Geoffrey, aka Western Prince, all the way from Bundibujo in Rwenzori sub-region. Western Prince, a very tall man, you'll see him when you see him, is going to be our Deputy Secretary for Youth for Western Region, all the way from Rwenzori sub-region. Ladies and gentlemen, oyo comrade Bwambali Geoffrey agenda kubeera nga yakulembera abavubuka baffe aba Western Region oluvannyuma lwa abaddewo okufuna omulimu ogwa full time ogutamusobozesa kusigala ng'akola ogw'omulimu. Our secretary for the elderly was Mzee Byalugaba William, who used to fondly call Jaja Noop. As you know, Jaja Noop passed on and we buried him in Kabale. And this afternoon we have a replacement, and that is Reverend Dr. Ben Byamujisha Butumbuire, all the way from Bushenyi District, Greater Bushenyi Sub-Region. A very highly educated man with a PhD, the doctor, is going to be heading the elderly in the National Unity Platform. Omukulu ono yagenda kubanga kulembera abakadde mu National Unity Platform. Abakadde bonna bonna yagenda okubanga abatwala. Oluvannyuma, she's advising that we take the podium. Okay, it's all right. Oluvannyuma lwa eyaliwo Mzee William Byalugaba gwe twayitanga Jaja Noop okufa. Kakati omukulu ono muyivu nnyo, agenda bagulira ebitabo bye era yagenda otukulembera mu kkowe eryo. Our Secretary for Policy was the Honorable Tolit Simon Akecha, who also passed on. You remember he was our candidate in the Omoro by-election. He is being replaced by our comrade Harriet Ageno. Comrade Harriet Ageno, all the way from Dokolo district in Lango sub-region. You remember we were with her in Dokolo, so she's going to be the head of policy or secretary for policy on the National Executive Committee. Our secretary for PWDs used to be Mr. Issa Williempala, who resigned following his appointment into public service. And for that position, he's being replaced by Mr. Julius Maganda from Iganga District, Busoga Region. Yeah, kati honorable bali mwezo ofunya kutwala sebo mu PWD's desk. Many honorable bali mwezo are very, very passionate about PWD's issues. So you have Comrade Maganda Julius taking that. As you all know, our Deputy President for Western Uganda, I see Bright is very happy there because he now has a new mother. Our Deputy President, Mama Jolie, passed on, and we are all very, very sad. And she's being replaced by Jolie Jacqueline Tukamushaba, all the way from Ruchiga District, Kigezi Sub-Region. We now have a Deputy President for Western Uganda, Madame Jolie Jacqueline Tukamushaba. Many of you remember her story when she was picked up, arrested, kept in Makenke military barracks for over a month during elections, simply because she was found with posters of our president. Maybe she will tell us more about that story. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, you know that our Deputy President for Uganda region, by his own conduct and pronouncement, has since left the party, following a corruption scandal which he failed to explain to the party, and instead of humbling himself to explain and do what the NEC had asked him, he decided to leave the party and do what he has been doing. And that followed his suspension from that position. So in light of that, he's being replaced by the Honorable Muhammad Mwanga. All the way from Mutambala. All the way from Mutambala. Takbir! Takbir! Yeah. So, behold, ladies and gentlemen, our Deputy President for Uganda, people power, our power. I need to emphasize one point. These appointments are in acting capacity up to the delegates conference. The President has appointed these people in acting capacity until the delegates conference, which will be held around June this year, and the delegates conference may choose to confirm them or to, at that time we'll be having a brand new National Executive Committee. So that is very important for you, ladies and gentlemen, to note. Mr. President, even if you go back having received them. Now, I will request these leaders to introduce themselves, and only the two deputy presidents will speak substantively about themselves and what they will do, but the rest of us, because of time, will just introduce ourselves and we go back and sit. Beginning with you, the tallest man in the team. All right. People power. Our power. People power. Yes, good afternoon, members of the press and all of us. My name is Western Face Gwambale. Atenekera sigenda kyerabira. President yatugambye tubyekolere. Bundi bujo mbazoganya era nzija awaliwo nalikozaakawo wenyini wengenda otuula ngaawo. Hey, for my people from Renzori, Mama Sebabo Holo, Masinje Ribiayo, awe tulicho.
People power,
our power.
People power,
our power.
Praise God. I'm convinced when you praise God in the first position, everything will come true. My name is Reverend Dr. Benon Brave Yamjisha. I'm a senior lecturer in some universities in this country, and I might call myself the founder of this NUP. Since its inception, I was there. Although it is greater than me, I'm greater than everybody here. I'm a member, and I'm going to act in that position as a parent, as a guide, and definitely want to see this country streamlining with peace and prosperity. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Comrade Katana Benjamin Sebo, our National Treasurer also.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Like I have been introduced, my name is Benjamin Katana. Mr. President, all of you, our distinguished leaders and members of NUP, I accept the additional assignment with commitment, honor, and a sense of duty. I pledge to be a strong and firm voice of the party in the National Consultative Forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Katana. Yes, Comrade Julius Maganda, all the way from Iganga.
People power, our power.
People power.
By the names I'm Maganda Julius from Iganga, as he has introduced me. However, I thank God that somewhere, somehow, I'm physically seen, and somewhere, somehow, at least mentally, I can decide what is wrong and what is right. I remember some years ago, the Minister of Health said that in Uganda, there are many people, or the percentage of 10, out of 10, at least 7, 8 people are kind mental of disturbed. And indeed, somewhere, somehow, you can see that some of them, when they eat their words, they are mentally disturbed. And because the mental weakness cannot be seen, you don't sympathize with them. And you end up sometimes sympathizing with some of us because we are physically incapacitated. Yes, some of us can even do more than what other able-bodied people can do.